What's up, everybody? I just got my Nintendo Switch 2 and I thought I would unbox it for you right now. So first things first, I got a little paring knife here and we are going to take the stickers off and get into it. I seriously just got it in the mail, set all this up, and now I'm going to open it up. So, boop. Opens quite easily. And I do have, this is my Switch OLED, which we will use for comparison later on. So let's get into it. Open up the Switch 2. Oh, okay, it has like, ooh, look at that. So some pretty interesting stuff going on there. Let me just make sure that I'm focused on the, okay, so some pretty interesting stuff going on in here already. You got your two new Joy-Cons. You have got your Switch screen, and basically you're good to go. Let's see what other goodies we have in the box though first. We got our digital copy of Mario Kart right there. Our USB, and we do have some of the connectors for your handles. Okay, so we have the screen still in its packaging. We have both Joy-Cons still in its packaging. And we have the connectors so that you can use it like a mouse, and your HDMI right there. In addition, we have your power plug. It's a USB-C into a power plug for the Nintendo Switch 2. You have the Joy-Con harness, so to speak, where you attach the Joy-Cons and you can use it like a normal controller. That's actually quite nice. And then you have your dock, which is right in there. The dock is quite different. I like the beveled edges on it. There we go. And let's set up the box so you don't forget what we are unboxing. Okay, so we have our dock. We'll put that up here. And we also have our screen. Let's actually get right into the screen and see what we are dealing with. Ooh, very, very nice so far. And here is the new kickstand that allows it to stand quite nicely. I do really like that it takes up the whole desk area. You have charging port here, volume buttons here, power, cartridge slot. We're gonna try out some of our OG Nintendo Switch. This is straight out of the box. I'm not gonna update it or anything like that. We're just gonna see what happens. Let's get the Joy-Cons out of there. I wanna test that magnetic clack that I have seen in all of the promotional material. Okay, so here it is. Do it facing the front camera there. And they should just go right in. They latch in there quite good. And then how hard are they to get out? They do have a release slat. They do have a release button. I actually don't know how to take them off of there. They really go in there. Oh no, it's it's like a physical button that you press. Now I hadn't watched any videos on this, so I'm just kind of experiencing this for the first time, as you all do. Let's see how it sits in the dock before we fire it up. Yeah, so that's what it'll look like when it is docked. And let's see if it actually has enough juice to actually fire up right out of the box, or if we're gonna have to charge this bad boy for a bit. Here we go, moment of truth. Ooh, there we go. Right out of the box, it's powering up. I think. It's kind of cool. It's a really special moment when you get a new console and you're able to try it out for the first time. It's just asking me to do the traditional setup. Let me adjust the lighting so maybe you can actually see what's going on here. All right, so we'll just do English US. We're in the Americas. We'll accept the EULA. And then I get stuck here at let's connect to the internet. As maybe you can see there, it just says you can't go any further until you connect to the internet, but you can go don't set. We're in LA. It is not April, it's June 5th, Nintendo Switch Day 2025. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. We'll hit OK. Start system transfer. We're not going to system transfer. This is going to be a fresh startup. So you can play however you want. You can play using, yeah, I know how to use the stand. Okay. It says detach the Joy-Cons. Oh, it's teaching me how to detach the Joy-Cons. And then set up the stand. And then click next. All right, we will connect to a TV later. You can use the accessories that came to hold them on your wrist. We're gonna skip that. Choose a style, you can play anytime. Sorry, this is probably gonna be better for the top camera. I'll go back a little bit. Okay, so now it has me doing all this stuff. It says, here's how you use the stand. We disconnect the controllers, we'll connect to a TV later. We're gonna skip the attachment guide and you can choose how you play anytime. Let's add a user. We will add without signing in. I just wanna like out of the box, account 1, that's fine. Okay, skip. We're gonna skip parental controls and we are gonna go to the home. So yeah, it does work right out of the box. Now the question is it going to allow me to boot up one of my existing Nintendo games that I have here? Okay, to play, insert a game card or purchase software for the Nintendo eShop. So let's do that really quick. Now, the game card slot, it's right here on the front. It's right here. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed at how well it works out of the box. Let's see what happens when we pop in. We're gonna do Skyward Sword. I don't even know if I've opened this, I have. So we'll pop in Skyward Sword and see if Skyward Sword works on Nintendo Switch 2. Just popping it in. So it pops up immediately. Please connect to the internet and update your system. I cannot even launch a game that I have purchased, that I own, by popping in the cart. It will not let me launch the game. That, I don't like that. I think Nintendo should let you play whatever you want if you own it, especially if you're popping in the cart. You should not need to connect to the internet to be able to use your device. So, unfortunately, I didn't purchase any Nintendo. I didn't even open some of these. Unfortunately, I did not purchase any Nintendo Switch 2 games. I'm tempted to go buy one and try that out, but I will just leave some text at the bottom as to what other users have experienced. Okay, so this is Super Mario RPG. Let's see what happens. Please connect to the internet and update your system. So you can't do anything until you connect your Switch 2 to the internet. I will check and see if Nintendo Switch 2 carts work out of the box, but that's a big bummer, big downside. Okay, I'm at Walmart well after opening. Look at that. They still got a bunch. They have like 10 of them just on display here. So I was gonna get the Zelda games anyway. So I'll get the Zelda games. What else? Yeah, I'll go see if I can get some help. Street Fighter says it needs a game key card. Okay, so I went to Walmart. We picked up, you know, the Zelda Switch 2 edition. I was gonna get that anyway. I got the controller. They had Super Mario Kart World, and I already have that because I got the special edition. I wanted to get, you know, I can do some videos about Zelda and stuff maybe further down the line, comparing how they perform. I'm just opening it up off camera. We're gonna pop this in right in the Walmart parking lot. Let's see what happens. Okay. It's a little tricky to do. Sitting in the car. Okay, so Switch 2 is on. Let's go to the home screen. Open it up. Quick and dirty on this one. And let's pop it in and see what happens. This is not updated. Update the system to use the current game card.
Just an editor note from Destin in the future, I was actually able to update right off of any Nintendo Switch 2 cart. So if you buy a Nintendo Switch 2 cart, it will work right out of the box, but there is no way to get a Nintendo Switch 1 cart, as far as I could tell, to function without connecting to the internet and updating your console.
Okay, so I just left Walmart. I'm driving, so I'm not gonna look at the camera, obviously, but yeah, that's bad. I think that's a big miss for Nintendo. I don't understand why they wouldn't ship it with firmware that would allow it to function before connecting to the internet. Why would they do that? They want to be able to control every single little aspect about your usage of the console. It's not great, I don't love it. The Nintendo Switch 2 just by itself though, it looks great. I like the heft to it. I can't wait to play some games on it once I connect it to the internet and do everything. I'll report back once I have updated it and started using it, but this isn't great. This is a bad standard to be setting. I know Xbox does it, I know PlayStation does it, I don't think they should do it either. Games should function out of the box when you purchase them. I think this is a step too far, and it's just another example of an anti-consumer practice that Nintendo has begun to implement over the years. I don't think it's good. I don't think it sets a good precedent, and I wish we weren't here. I think it's bad. Well, that's it, bye. Now, while we are up here, we can actually just take a real quick comparison to the Nintendo Switch OLED that I purchased. Clearly a much larger screen. Yeah, much larger screen than the new Nintendo Switch. I'm gonna go and we will go downstairs into my office and hook this thing up to the TV and see what we can do now, because right now I have a very pretty unit that I can't do anything with without the internet. Dislike. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be right back.
Okay, so it's later in the day. I'm a disaster, obviously, but I think the whole process overall of just setting up your Switch 2, it's a little bit more cumbersome than in the past. Transferring your save files and everything. It's all a little tedious. It's a one-time thing though, and then you'll kind of be over it after that. But yeah, I mean, I really want to get some hands-on time. I ended up picking up Cyberpunk. Later in the day, I went to a Best Buy because I was in the city and I had to run some errands. So I stopped at the Best Buy. Best Buy's totally sold out of the Nintendo Switch 2, but they had one copy of Cyberpunk on the shelves and a few other games. But yeah, I called around to a few GameStops. They had it late in the day, like at 6 o'clock in the evening. They still had plenty of Switch 2 units in one location. Another location didn't sell out until like noon. And I'm sure if I went to Best Buy tomorrow, they're going to be available. Overall, I think the unit is really good looking. I think it feels nice. The screen, even against the OLED, looks great. So that's really impressive. But I am wondering about the software challenges that Nintendo has in getting people into this new sort of virtual card system. It's a little confusing, honestly. Like, even for somebody that does this for a living, I felt it was a little bit odd. I'm still excited about the Switch 2. I'm curious to play with it more and report back, but that is my cobbled together unboxing. It was kind of a crazy day. Let me know what you're thinking about the Switch 2 so far, and hopefully I can get my office set up and back into some halfway decent order. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye for now.